Move like fuego, dale, don't be patient, beat so heavy, feel the vibration, man on the mic, we run the station, laughs, chaos, wild conversations, hands in the air, feel the temptation, it's time to join donation. City lights low, bass on 10, we slide, rum in the cup, rhythm in the stride, stories get spicy, jokes get wild, truths get loud, then we reconcile, from street talk wisdom to late night schemes, we turn real life into living memes, no cap, no script, all elevation, press play, welcome to the situation. Move like fuego, dale, don't be patient, beat so heavy, feel the vibration, mal on the mic, we run the station, laughs, chaos, wild conversations, hands in the air, feel the temptation, it's time to join the donation.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hello, welcome to the 39th episode. We are 11 episodes away from number 50. I can't fucking wait. Yes. Gina, hello, how you doing?
I am stellar. Thank you for asking.
You're stellar. That's it. Just
yeah.
stellar. That's it.
Stellar is really good.
Bodega, my guy, haven't seen you out. It's been like 3 months.
Champ, why you be dragging it, bro? You was dragging it. I've been working it out the way.
I know. You dark. You look at my Dominican brother right now.
First of all, yo, me and you gonna have a conversation about that. You wildin'.
I love you. Kat,
What up?
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. I wanted you on, and now you finally on.
Yeah.
Phil,
Hey,
what's going on, Philly?
I good.
You good?
I good.
You good. Yep. And then now all the way from Chi-Town, we got Chantel.
What up?
Phil got to do the little, he always got to be extra.
Super extra.
Watch your mouth.
What you think this is Thanksgiving? Gobble.
Watch your mouth.
Fuck.
I know
You
we're
guys
not
are already-
talking with them tight ass shorts. Let's
Yo,
not
first
do
of all,
that.
my shorts ain't tight. I got my
I can
hoochie.
see
Now,
the
Mal got on
imprint,
some
bro.
hip huggers. Mal got on the
No,
single
no, I
mother
do
threes
not.
right now.
Don't
Not for
deflect.
nothing.
Don't
My
deflect.
man got the single mother
Don't
Jordache
deflect.
jeans on right now. Pause. It's a
But we can
fact.
see him. We can see
I'm already
him.
hot. Yo, Gina, stop making, yo. She makes fun of my laugh. Bodega, who are you representing today? Who are you?
Oh, I'm plugging my man Booby. I'm plugging my man Booby Business, Blueprint Society.
I like that hat.
Any of them shirts, any of them wild t-shirts you ever seen them in, my man's the ones that makes them. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on TikTok. Blueprint Society is right here on my hat.
That's what's up.
I like that.
Yes, I like that hat. That's what's up. Phil,
Yes, sir.
are you ready for tonight's topic?
Nope.
I know you're not. Is everybody ready for tonight's topic? Because I know, mommy and daddy were going in the chat.
First of all, it was a simple. You could say it was a simple miscommunication. You
I love
understand?
it, but I love it.
Nah, she was, you know what I mean? She woke up grouchy. She didn't have her coffee. You know
Her
what I mean?
Starbucks. She didn't have her.
She was on some other type of time, and I get it. I understand it. I ain't even mad. No love lost.
She's white.
No, and she said it herself. I didn't even have my coffee yet. It's
That's
too
facts.
early for
That's
this.
why, because you wanted to come in, and so you can't.
I love it.
It's not. Listen, it's not my fault that I
love
be
this.
up at
I love this.
5:30 in the morning with mad energy. That
I'm
ain't got nothing to
convinced
do
that
with
this
me.
is his way of flirting at this point.
If you don't know that by now,
The banter.
Something
That
like
was
that.
a topic though. It was just topic.
yes.
And we
Let's
had
go,
different
Phil.
views,
Start it
so.
off.
She looks good.
All right. So today's topic is free speech dead in America? Obviously, everybody knows what happened last week with the unfortunate assassination of Charlie Kirk, a right-wing conservative. That happened live in front of the world, and
Yeah.
so we're going to get everyone's opinion on that. But I got some topics based off of that stem from that conversation and just in general. But first, I do want to know everyone's political affiliation, because nothing is more divisive than asking your religion or who you're voting for.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not even gonna go there.
I don't even vote.
I'm not. See, and you part of the problem, but that's neither here nor there.
I don't even vote.
You part of the
And
problem.
the last time I voted was for Obama.
Now, the only thing that I do want to say before we get started, before anything get heated, all of that, I, as an individual, I refuse to celebrate the death of anybody.
Yes.
I do not care. I do not care whether I agree with them or not. I do not care where they stand, whether they left, right, middle, frying pans, toasters, Kias. I don't care. I'm not celebrating anyone's death. It's
Facts.
not who I am as an individual, and personally, I feel no one's death should be celebrated, knowing that life is the ultimate gift that God gave us.
So you would say this? You said the same thing when we killed Osama bin Laden?
Bro, I didn't even celebrate that. I don't celebrate nobody's death. I don't care
That was a
where I
disclaimer.
stand with the individual.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am as a person. I don't get joy knowing that someone else lost their life, especially somebody who lost their life over where they stand. Because I mean, technically speaking, yes, this specific individual says some things that a lot of people did not agree with, but just because you didn't agree with him doesn't mean that he deserved to lose his life.
Exactly. That's true.
Wait, Chantel, what's up?
Because we're asking first question was, I would say I'm a radical. I'm not Democrat or Republican. Secondly, I agree with Bodega, not celebrating anybody's death, but sometimes you got to watch what comes out your mouth, because you will pay for what you say nowadays. So no, I don't agree with his, and I'm sorry for his kids and his wife. But at the same time, you got to watch what you say nowadays, because things like this happen, and it's kind of what it is.
Okay. Mal, what political affiliation are you? You said you're not
Nope.
either, right?
Neither.
And Gina.
Neither.
Gina brought a gift for herself.
Oh, I did. Yeah, this is my political affiliation right here. I'm a tin hatter.
That's beautiful.
She represents the
I am
weirdos.
a conspiracy theorist, a proud conspiracy theorist for those that are into that. I'm really into the rabbit hole. But to get more serious, I am definitely, I like to consider myself moderate, but I do tend to lean more conservative at like a 65% rate. So that kind of makes me not extreme enough for either side. But the majority of the time, the things that I agree with and that sit with me better at my core tend to be the more conservative values, with the exception of certain things. And then there's things where I'm like completely in the middle on, or I would consider myself in the middle. But yeah, like I said, I tend to lean more conservative, but the more and more time goes by, the more I'm like, there's really not, there's just an illusion for a divide, and we're all just being played. And kind of like when you said that not voting is part of the problem, I could see why a lot of people don't vote, because
Nothing changes. It doesn't
well,
matter.
and I also think that it is an illusion of choice that we have, and that it's all actors, and they're just playing as though there are two different sides, and they take turns leading up to the same agenda. They just add more and more rules and restrictions and control, but it depends on who's in office at the time. For example, some people I didn't like, I don't know. We can get more into it later. But
She didn't like Obama.
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, I'll give you an example. I wasn't for open borders, but I'm definitely not for mass deportations and ICE raids either.
I get you.
And I think both of those are very extremes, and I think there is a middle ground, but they're not going to focus on any middle ground solution, because they want to keep us arguing and divided and emotional.
All right. So,
Cat.
hold on one second. Just real quick.
Okay.
You guys hear this, right?
Yes.
All right. So when you hear me hit that button, Just that means just take a pause, okay? All right, Kat, go ahead.
Well, just listening to all the points that were mentioned, I don't have a party that I follow. I kind of just go with my gut. I don't celebrate either life unless the person wants to, like families do celebrate life, you know, when after death. So I can understand that, but like to celebrate it the way it was celebrated with this whole situation, that I don't agree with. So I agree with Bodega and everybody else. And the rabbit hole, I agree with that too. I kind of am everywhere. I have my beliefs everywhere, but I go with my own beliefs. I'm not into the politics too much, but I do kind of chime in here and there on that. So I guess once we dive into this, it's going to be very interesting. So I'm open to this topic. This
Definitely.
is going to be dope.
All right. So my first thing is we're going to play a little quick game called Is This Racist?
Wow!
But they gotta take a drink on that.
So I've got
I need a drink.
I've got a couple of quotes here from the late Charlie Kirk, and you can tell me if this is racist or not. Okay? All right. Now, this is an entertainment show, guys. So please don't have your freaking panties up in a bunch. Okay? So
Or
this
your
quote,
tight pants.
yes, or Miles ball huggers.
Word up, his single mom, Old Navy jeans. You know what I mean?
Yo, his balls look like Squidward's cheeks.
my God.
You can see him. You can see him.
Why are you thinking about that,
Nah,
Phil?
champ, that's crazy.
Why are you
My
obsessed with that,
My
Phil?
man's over. Nah, you know what, Phil? I'm gonna let you slide this first time.
It's out of concern.
The
It's
second
out of concern.
time,
It's out of
the second
concern.
time you
Oh,
say
my
something zesty, I'ma automatically believe you want an invite to the Frank stand. Pause.
Yo, zesty
just-
sauce is
you know
my
what I mean?
favorite sauce at Burger King, bro.
You got you
Yo,
get
I
one
swear,
pass.
Phil's comments be like.
Anyway,
See?
anyway.
Go ahead.
All right. Is this racist? So this was taken from Charlie Kirk on his podcast in December of 2023. He said, "We made a huge mistake when we passed the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. Is
Absolutely.
this racist?"
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It sounds racist.
Yeah.
I would like to know the context, but it does sound racist. It sounds extreme.
I'm gonna give you the context on that, right?
Because it sounds extreme.
Because when he brought that up, he was trying to prove a point on the statistics of the African American community prior to that. So basically what he stated with that, because I mean, that's one of them things you got to give context to. What he was stating was that there were more African American men at home, as in fathers. You understand? It was different. He basically went on to go into how the civil rights movement actually held them back versus pushing them forward. Now, there were certain things in there that were racist as hell,
Yeah.
but that's the context behind that
How
statement.
does that even make sense? So that's still racist as fuck. It makes no sense.
The context
He was
said,
going, so you got to understand, he was going off of statistics. He was going off of values. So basically what he was stating was, prior to the civil rights movement, there were more fathers at home prior than during.
Because they couldn't get a job, because they weren't allowed to. They were black. I mean, let's keep it 100.
No, I mean, I
Hold
get
on,
it.
Let me
But
finish.
that was
We
the context
sugarcoat-
of it.
I get it, but that's sugarcoating. There's no, even with the context behind it, it's still racist as shit. Regardless of how you try to put it, what statistics you're adding to the numbers, let's think of it back before civil rights. That's what you had. You had racism. So what were they getting paid to do? What were they able to do? I mean, it's
Is
still
that
racist.
really why they were home?
I mean, technically speaking, you're
Obviously.
right, but then you're wrong, because prior to the civil rights movement, they had Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was one of the
Burned it.
biggest and most thriving communities in all of the United States of America.
And they burned it down.
Prior to it being burnt down. So technically speaking, your statement is right and wrong.
They took it from them regardless.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But we can move on.
Go ahead, Phil. You was gonna read the contents.
Chantel got it though, but like,
Okay.
But no, I would say it was, so the actual context also, he's referring to the act was created as a permanent DEI, like how that happened. But anyway, I'll skip that.
Okay.
Crowd was saying that it was racist. So we got, he said it like 4 times. I don't know why. But, all right. So the second quote, Martin Luther King Jr. was awful. He's not a good person.
Nah, that's racist as fuck.
That's racist as fuck.
Was that racist?
That's racist.
That's racist as fuck.
There's no ifs, ands, buts, and maybes about
people
that.
are trying to compare him to Martin Luther King. Was way fucking different. Martin Luther King was trying to stop racism and trying to bring everybody together.
Equality. That's all he wanted. He wanted equality.
While the other one was trying to feed into this
Divide.
young generation wrong information.
I wouldn't say wrong information. He was spewing his point of view to people he knew shared the same mind
values
frame.
as he does.
So that I wouldn't say, you know what I'm saying? That's the best way to sum it up.
Who?
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
He was not only talking to people that agreed with him, he was debating with people that disagreed with him.
He was debating.
He was going on campuses.
He was
and
debating
yes.
with people that disagreed with him because he was trying to prove a point to the people who stand behind his rhetoric. So you gotta understand that it's not like he just woke up. Like there's
I
a
think
dude.
he went to the campuses specifically with an agenda.
There's another dude who does debates, Mehdi, right?
Yes.
He's a Middle Eastern guy who he does political debates, but when he debates, he's not debating on whether he's racist or not, or he's spewing some rhetoric to a specific majority of people who stand by what it is that he's saying. He's disputing all the facts, and he's doing it in a respectful manner. That's the difference. That is the difference.
Absolutely.
So a little bit of history on Charlie Kirk's point of views when it comes to Martin Luther King. In 2015, he called him a hero. And in 2022, he called him a civil rights icon. So what happened in between that? Oh, I know. He got a podcast.
Turning point?
Turning point.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was his turning point.
That was his turning point.
Because he knew
And I heard his
he
podcast.
knew what his demographic was.
Yeah.
And he
knows who to speak to.
Correct. He was catering to his demographic. Like
Yes.
I
This
said.
is what I'll say in that sense of the fact that, yes, he did have open discussions with people, but when people would come up to him and try to debate, he wasn't having a friendly debate. He was solely
It depends on your
to
algorithm.
basically spew hatred. If you think about what was being said, yes, he'd say, "Oh, I want to hear from you," but then when he would hear from you, he'd tell you what he wanted and what he believed. So he wasn't really listening. I think that was all a bunch of bullshit.
He was
I think
That's
it
a
depends
fact.
on your algorithm. I think if you tend to lean towards the left, it's going to show you an algorithm of all the videos where he was being smug, arrogant, and extreme. And if you lean towards the right, it's going to show me, or it was showing me, the videos of him defending the gay men on Trump's cabinet against a homophobic guy that was debating him from the audience, who was trying to use Bible verses to speak badly about gay people. It showed me, because of my algorithm, things of him in a positive light. It showed me one where a transgender male to female was asking him, okay, I did puberty blockers, I haven't got bottom surgery, what do you think I should do? And then he went on to ask questions. He didn't push anything. All he said was, it's your decision what you do. Are you happy with how you are? And I think that you should pray on it. He didn't push anything, but that's because of my algorithm. I had to be sent videos of him doing the things and talking and being smug and arrogant, like that.
So
Chantel
you can see
was
both
talking
sides
about.
of where he
That's
what
a
he was
fact,
talking
but
about.
you build your own algorithm.
Yes.
So with that being said, like if you want a specific type of information, all these applications are gonna lean toward these applications are already building an algorithm on what it is that you like. So
It's
I mean,
still
with that being said, you build your
deterrent
algorithm,
from
but your algorithm has nothing to do with the fact that he made. Let's say out of 10 debates and 4 debates, he said some nice shit, and the other 6, he was racist as fuck.
Absolutely.
He was saying some extremely divisive
He would say
Yeah.
some extreme. He would say some extreme
Absolutely.
shit. Like,
He
there's
told somebody, speaking
some of his
on the
beliefs
fact of-
were
And
good,
he
and
would
then the others.
flip-flop.
And yes.
Everybody, hold on. Chantel, what'd you say?
What'd you
I
say?
said, speaking on that, Mal sent me a video where there was a gay black man that was talking. He told him that in the school that he was at, which was
Oh yeah, I sent you that too.
very
right?
Yeah.
racist, very homophobic, very everything, he got harassed, but 5 times within the night, right? And Charlie's, I guess, question was, well, did you do anything? I think you're lying. I think you're the Jussie Smollett of gay people, basically.
That was
you're
wild.
trying
That
to
was a
lie.
wild statement.
Now, mind
So that's
you,
what I'm
he
saying.
That was a
asked-
wild statement.
So this what I'm saying, like,
Hold on.
He asked, why didn't you say anything? Most people don't speak because of that reason. When we don't feel safe enough, when we know that there is a group of people in a college that don't agree with me being gay, with me being black and gay, with me being transgender, whatever the case may be, that's the things that you have to go through, unfortunately. And you're scared to open your mouth because 90% of the time, nothing gets done. You don't get help. So for him to tell somebody that you're lying and not to trust this man's word was pretty shitty on why people don't tend to speak up on racism, why people don't tend to speak up when they're harassed because of their sexuality. To me, it just showed a difference in how I view him. I don't care for that man at all. And honestly, I just there's for the,
Okay.
I get upset because it frustrates me at the fact that poor kid was trying to speak his piece and he was being told that you're lying. Basically, like, and because he was black, not because he was white. Because if he was white, I'm sure he would have said something different to him.
Well, speaking on, let's go with transgender people. Now, this is what he said. The transgender thing is a throbbing middle finger to God. I don't know, you call that racism or you call it bigotry.
I wouldn't say that's racist, and I wouldn't say that's bigotry. I would like to say that he was speaking his mind on a situation that he doesn't necessarily agree with.
It's
That's
people
one of
who
them
believe in
things.
the Bible.
That's one of them things where, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm gonna keep it a bed. I let everybody live. I operate under the rule live and let live, right? I let everyone do what they do, right?
Yep.
But just because I let you do what you do doesn't mean that I accept your lifestyle. I just understand that you identify as a frying pan, and that's how I have to identify you. That's what you is. You're a frying pan. But it doesn't mean that I have to agree with the fact that you identify as a frying pan.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one of them things. This is the one thing that I actually agree with him on. I'm sorry. Regardless of how anybody feels about it, for me, that specific movement, Skittles Mafia, I've never agreed with it. It's not what I rock
But that's
with.
the thing, like, you don't have to.
I don't understand it. In my mind, right? These are people that over the last 20 years have pushed their sexual preference on everybody else. I don't care what you do, gang. Like, if that's what you do, that's what you do.
Yeah.
But stop pushing it to everybody else to accept it. I don't have to accept what you identify with.
Yeah.
This is my God-given right. Fuck being an American. This is my
So then why
God-given
was it
right
okay
to tell
for Charlie
you.
to put
That's
gay
just you.
rhetoric?
That's your.
I
That's your
don't
opinion
accept.
too.
I don't accept who you, what it is that you identify with.
Yeah.
But because I operate under the live and let live, I just don't give a fuck.
Yep.
I'm just tired. I mean, and this is an entirely different topic, but this shit is being pushed way too fucking
But
much.
Yeah.
so was Charlie Charlie was doing the same thing. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying.
they
Like,
not.
it's
Yeah,
okay
but
for
they
you
not.
to say
No.
that. But
They
then
not
hold on,
pushing
let me
Charlie.
finish,
No.
'cause I let you talk.
They're not
I let
pushing
you
Charlie
talk.
Kirk.
I let
They're
you
not
talk.
pushing Charlie
I let
Kirk
you
in
talk.
school.
Yes, he was.
They're not
He was-
pushing
he
Charlie
was
Kirk
pushing
in
a
church.
rhetoric.
They're not pushing
Either you're
Charlie
gonna
Kirk in the
listen or I'm gonna let you
workplace.
talk.
One at a time,
one at a time.
Why does somebody that is a part of Skittles
If I
Mafia
could
need
answer
to
the
get
first
special
question, that would be
treatment
great.
because you have a specific sexual preference?
All right, Bodega, hang on. Go ahead, Chantel.
Go ahead, Chantel. Then we're gonna go to
But
Cat.
again, you're talking about a group of people that also didn't have a voice for very many years. Also, people that were,
I miss the
were
old
killed
gays.
because
I
of
miss
what they
the
believed.
I miss the old gays.
Hold on, let her finish,
I
let
miss
her
the
finish.
gay. I
Let
miss
her
the gay
finish.
people from the '90s who was cool with being gay, but they wasn't throwing it in your face. You get what I'm saying? I miss the old gays, not for nothing. Respectfully,
the old
real
gays.
shit. These new ones is out of control, champ. Real shit.
we gonna go to Q. Hold on, Chantel. We gonna go to Cat real quick because go ahead, Cat.
So I'm all about the live and let live. And it boils down back to the subject, to me, because everybody's voicing their opinion on everything here, but we're not allowing anybody the freedom of speech. Anybody on any spectrum, whether him voicing his opinion on what he believes, what Charlie believed, what I believe, what she believes, what he believes. We all have our own beliefs. We should all have the freedom to speak that shit.
Exactly.
On everything. And that's what I believe, But at the end of the day, we're all being told we shouldn't, I don't believe in that. I feel like if we not trying to let this shit die, where we do have, if we're going to go to the amendment, right? Freedom of speech. Why can't we talk about it? And I agree with, it should... with certain parts of the gay community, I don't want to focus just on that because I am about the gay community, but there's certain spectrums to that too that I'm kind of like, hey, let's chill. But there's other spectrums to it, to that, you know what I'm saying? Like that everybody has their right, everybody needs to speak on it. He has his right to voice his opinion.
Yeah.
He has his right. Like, he has his right. Like, I'm going to sit here with him and be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Can I say
That's
something
his
real
right.
quick,
He
too?
don't have to accept that shit. He don't. And we could all be like, shit, he don't.
But
he
also,
really
so
don't.
does Chantel, right?
No.
She's here with us. She might not be here with
That's
us
a
physically,
fact.
and she didn't get to finish speaking her piece.
No,
Yeah.
facts.
But it's
facts.
okay.
But I've been
It's
sitting
okay.
quiet for a minute. I just wanted to
Yeah,
kinda,
you have.
You know.
Yes, you have.
So-
Yes, you have. I just
I
feel like
love you,
freedom of
though.
speech is free, but you have to understand that there's a fallout that comes from that.
So regarding
That's how I see it.
what Bodega said about the '90s, racists say the same thing about black people. What happened to the happy Negroes back then? It's because we were scared, man. And same thing with the gays. They were scared to be themselves.
Well, you know what? Maybe I think maybe it was based on where you can't, because I'm from New York City. You understand?
They were out.
And I'm a keep it a bed. Like, they was outside, but they wasn't pushing the agenda. It was like, listen, this what I rep. Like, this my set.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it, but you understand that this is my set. Cool. They wasn't sitting here pushing it, trying to shove it down everybody's throat to accept it. And this is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Right now, we're in a time to where this is being pushed to children who don't even truly understand
That's where I draw the line.
I
That
agree.
is
what it
specifically
is
where I
that's
draw the
going
line.
on. And this
Yeah.
is why I don't agree with it.
That's my red line too.
You understand?
Leave
Like, at the
kids
end of
out
the
of it.
day, children do not need to be a part of that conversation. This
Let
is why
kids be kids.
This is exactly why Target killed that whole line that they was pushing in the children's section for that very reason. Why? Because parents did not want this push to their children. Their children are still trying to figure out who they are as
themselves.
individuals.
Exactly.
So why don't you let these children grow into people who learn who they are, and if later on down the line they decide that's what they want to be, then cool, accept that for what it is. But stop pushing this shit on 6, 7, 8-year-old children who basically come home and watch Cartoon Network after school.
Exactly.
That shit is not
That's
cool.
facts.
No, it's not.
No, absolutely
I
not.
could agree with that.
I
I
could
agree with that, but that's also like trying to say like that's part of history. It might not be everybody's history, but it is a part of history that is not talked about. It's just like Black history is not talked about. So it's kind of like saying like let's shut down Black history in a way too, if we're gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel. It might not be everybody's view, but it's kind of like saying let's not talk about that either. There is a history that's not talked about, and there's trans lives and there's other lives that nobody agrees with, and that's okay. But it's not talked about because people were scared. They are still scared, and
Some of them are still scared.
people are still scared. Even Black people, everybody's scared still. Like there's a lot of people losing their life still because they are scared. And I am from New York too, and I'm about that shit too.
But
I feel where you come from.
But now let's and not to discredit anything that you're saying, right? Totally understand where you coming from, but now if that's the road we're gonna walk down, right?
Okay.
Let's talk about how a lot of the people that are a part of that community mislead people who are not a part of that community. With that being said, there are plenty of people. There are plenty of people. There are plenty of people who are trans who don't even disclose the fact that they are trans.
This
To
happens a lot.
To
That
men
happens a
who
lot.
are heterosexual.
Right.
So at the end of the day, if that's the set that you repping, right, and this what you bout, this is where you are with who you are as a person, then why can't you be grown enough to tell this person, listen, at the end of the day, I'm feeling you, but this is what I am, this is what I represent, this is where I'm at in my life, and give that person the opportunity to make a decision, whether they want to walk down that road or
Not
not.
to excuse it, but it might be because of fear, right?
Yeah, but
Because when
that doesn't mean that person
No,
But
I'm not
doesn't
saying
mean-
it doesn't make it
but that
okay, and I
doesn't mean-
disagree with it wholeheartedly. And
Bodega. What percentages?
I ain't got no percentages on this. I ain't got no percentages on this. But not for nothing. Like that is a phenomenon. You see it on the news and social media all the time.
All right, let's move on.
Yes. Go ahead.
All right, that was a good one. Okay, so after he was assassinated, it was a media shitstorm, really. And the right was blaming the left. The left was saying it wasn't us.
Everybody was blaming everybody.
But what happened that I noticed was that there were I saw some crowds of men saying white men fight back. And then they decided to make a lot of threats to HBCUs for some reason.
that
Which-
happened, yeah.
I don't understand. But for those who are watching, and if you are MAGA or Republican, please answer this question. Why is it when something happens, you immediately go to hating black people or hating the gays, or
Absolutely.
and especially
It's a fact.
if you claim that you're
a certain
Christian,
race.
That's a fact.
without even, because you guys definitely promote. Oh, let's get all the facts first. Like, especially if a cop kills a black person, you say, "Oh, wait, let's get all the footage first." Especially, but when something like this happens, you immediately jump on the other side, and then we
Ignorance.
found out that the kid was raised in a Republican household. So
Ignorance. There's so much ignorance. We see this every day. You want to know what's the wildest thing I heard about that story, though? Is that, and I got nothing against conspiracy theorists, but they're like, oh, there's no way he could have made that shot. He's too young. I'm going to look at y'all in the camera, and I'm going to tell y'all this.
All right, well, hold on.
A lot of people who are making this statement,
I've never tried to
you people have never spent a single minute in the range. You got to understand that this happened in a state where most children are taught to disassemble and reassemble firearms by the time they are 10 years old. And I'm going to tell you right now, in all honesty, I'm going to keep it a band, and this is my opinion. I think my man's was going for a headshot. Yep. But what happened was he miscalculated distance, wind velocity, and humidity, because all of this factors into bullet drop. I don't think he had the muzzle high enough to get a headshot, but he got a neck shot. You understand?
Right in the jugular.
Not for nothing.
Right in the jugular.
Not for nothing. But he definitely, I don't care what nobody tells me, my man definitely, he took that shot. Too many people are like, there's no way. It had to be somebody who was fully trained. Bro, they been, that boy's been hunting since he was 7 years old.
Yeah, Gina, why do you have your hat? Hold on.
Go ahead, Gina.
Because I don't believe any narratives that come with this. It's not even me saying that a regular average Joe couldn't make the shot.
Wait, do you hear that?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you. It's not even about how skilled and how good the shot was for me. It's about just it goes deep. I automatically am like questioning, who was he turning against towards the end of his life? Who did he start wavering against that has been Israel part of conspiracies in other scenarios, like what happened in September many, many years ago that we like to remember and memorialize all the time. But it was blamed on other people. Like, I don't believe the initial narrative hardly ever. And there's always, if you haven't noticed, it's the same script. There's writing and carvings on the casings and whatnot. And there's always some manifesto. Like, there's always some manifesto going on behind it. It's the same script. Like, okay. To me, it all sounds like the same people are making up the same stories and the same, like, Hollywood movie set to me.
I got to take, but let me hear what Chantel had to say real quick.
Go ahead, Chantel.
I was going to, for me, I feel like when it came down to, repeat the question again, because I lost sight.
No, it was just to,
it was too much.
It was just to rebuttal what Gina said.
About the script being played?
Yeah.
Or being what it was?
I think it was an inside job.
I think that,
I'm going to go out and say that.
Okay.
I think it's really Mossad hit it.
Said was, why did they automatically switch and say that it was a black person or it was this person? Because that's what happens when minorities don't matter. That's what happens when only white lives matter, and the blame is always going to be on the minority. That's what I feel. I feel like until they found out that he was a Republican white boy from wherever he was from.
From Utah.
And his father was a sheriff and his mother was a nurse.
So then this goes back to what I said.
But
he was trained to do so.
Minorities don't go on.
But I do agree. But I do agree with Gina though. I think this was a political assassination though.
Hold on. I'm gonna say that this was a case of white on white crime. You wanna know why?
Absolutely.
Do you know how white you gotta be to die in Utah? Especially like that. That man died in the whitest state in America in a school shooting, white on white crime, and then he finally got caught, and then he was like, hold up, my dad's a cop. It don't get no whiter than that.
And then really ask yourself the question, who are the majority of school shooters?
Men.
Race.
And whites.
Men.
But what race? What race?
We didn't say gender, we said race.
Men.
Not all men, but always a man.
Race.
Know, but what's the race?
We're not going to gender. We're asking
I'm
what
going
race.
to gender. Men.
What
does the gender have to do with the race? Yes, they were men. Okay, we've established that. Men of what race?
White.
There we go.
Every single shooting.
There we go.
That's happened.
Any school shooting anytime I hear about a school shooting, I'm like, white guy.
Chantel, you live in Chicago. Why aren't those shootings televised?
Because they're not school shootings.
Because
they're not school shootings.
They're not mass shootings.
They're not school shootings. That's why they're not being televised.
That's gang related. That
correct.
Is what
They cool with that.
Why isn't gang related shootings are mass shootings? When I lived in Chicago, there was a shooting all the time.
But
they're not
Killing
school shootings.
27
We're
kids.
not speaking of mass
Puerto
shootings.
Ricans or
It doesn't
Hispanic
fit the
people are not
narrative,
killing
guys. It
27
doesn't fit the
kids.
narrative.
It's not
But
about
look-
the narrative. It's what's in front of you. When you come to Chicago, if you're getting shot up, that's because it's a gang related issue.
That's
and
a
it's
fact.
not always mass shooting. It's the product of where of our environment, right?
That's a
But
fact.
when you go knowingly to a school of kids or to a church where people pray because you don't like the fact that they pray, or you're mad at the teacher from 27 years ago, so now you're gonna shoot up harmless kids.
That's a fact.
Usually goes with a white man's rhetoric. I'm sorry to say, but it's the truth. If we look through history,
Why doesn't the media equally
shit.
focus
you're gonna
on
see
both?
Because they
white-
get.
Because
You want to know why? You want to know why?
Gangs
Because
have been
the
around
gang-
for how many
the gang
decades?
Shit, the gang shit is played out.
Yeah.
The gang
like,
shit is
that-
played out in the media.
It is.
The gang shit got played out when Cali was in the middle of their worst gang shit between 88 and 96. That was the worst of the gang shit, was between 88 and 96. And where were 80% of those gangs? In the state of California.
Wait, what
California
was
and Illinois
What was that?
with really strict gun laws.
No. Because if you really did your research, most of the gangs that were established in the state of Illinois jumped to Illinois from the state of California.
Okay.
This is a fact.
They're both states with very high gun control, right?
There is only a handful of gangs in the state of Illinois that were started within the state of Illinois. I.e., I give you a prime example: Latin Kings. Latin Kings started in Chicago. Point blank. Period.
And the South Side gangs too.
No, but this is what I'm getting at. But when you start talking about Bloods, Crips, GDs, you know what I'm saying? Like all that shit
It's Cali.
jump from California.
That's all Cali.
All that shit jump from Cali.
So I think what Gina was saying, I think makes a little sense. But actually, Gina and Chantel, so they don't count gang shootings as mass shootings. They do and they don't. What Chantel said makes sense is because gang shootings they're not just random. You know what I mean? Like you don't just in their target. But the reason why they don't talk about it as much because it's black people killing other black people.
That's a fact.
That's also why they don't
That's
give
a
a fuck.
Yes.
fact.
But
That
I
is
think there's another
100%
reason
a
for
fact.
it too.
What's that?
What's
ahead.
that?
From my perspective,
What's that?
I think that if you're a conspiracy theorist, right? From that perspective, the gang shootings are more organic, right? You wouldn't think of a conspiracy surrounding gang shootings when you're thinking of the ones that are highly televised, that hit home for everybody, that hit you in the sympathy spot because it's a bunch of kids at school or because it's a bunch of people in the church praying. That's going to cause an outrage that the media focuses on heavily. That is when I question how organic that really is. And the narrative that the media likes to spit. And either way, it's still spun in a way where people are going to get emotional. They're going to call for reform. And the only people that reform applies to ever is law-abiding citizens who don't go out doing mass shootings.
So
Those are who the rules apply to, the people who are going to follow them. So you're just going to keep continuing to restrict us after every time something like that happens, and it's highly televised.
Kat, the audience is asking for your opinion.
Oh, yeah. When it comes to media, the media is like Hollywood. They focus on what the hell they want to focus on. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's what it is. Whether it be gang related, whether it be massive shootings, they look all about the ratings.
So should we have gun reform? Let's start with Chantel.
You know what? I'm gonna let y'all go, and then I'm gonna land on this one.
Yeah, let's start with Chantel, and then we'll go with Mal. Go ahead, Chantel.
I do believe we should, yes. I think we've been fighting for that for how many years, so it's never going to happen.
But guns are banned in
makes sense.
Chicago, and y'all got the highest freaking murder rate.
Yep.
So how has gun reform worked in Chicago?
It
And
hasn't.
Cali.
Okay, so
It hasn't.
what
That's
would
I'm
they
saying.
do?
Like, it has not, unfortunately. We have it, but it doesn't. Like I said, it makes money. If it makes money, it makes sense. At the end of the day, think about it. If we're talking about conspiracy theories and everything else, how are they still getting them? How is this still possible that we still have guns in every part of Chicago and people are able to use them whenever they want? Now
we have more
you have
guns
a
than
license
Americans.
to
She's
conceal
on
and
to
carry.
something.
But at the same time,
I'ma sit
it's
here and
being
sip
handed
my
for a
Hennessy.
reason, just like drugs in America. I mean, how do you get the drugs? Where does it come from? Like, it makes money, it makes
CIA.
sense. It's all money.
That I agree with you on.
Yeah,
We
all right,
agree
hold
on that
Hold
one.
on, look, let's get Mal. Mal's been quiet.
His pants are too tight.
Pants that got
It's fucking true though. Like no matter what, somebody's gonna get their hands on a gun somehow,
Or a knife, if they're crazy.
If they're crazy, and there's a lot of people that are crazy. To me, it don't matter if it's gun, if it's knife. It don't matter what kind of weapon it is. If that person's gonna hurt somebody, kill somebody, they're gonna do it regardless with whatever they get.
Okay.
But guns right now is the number one thing where people are getting them easily now. Here in Florida, starting on the 20s, what is it, 25th, 26th in Florida?
Next week.
It's open carry.
Hold on, Mal. That's my next question.
It's
though.
been
So let's-
open. It's been open.
No,
carry.
no, it was not.
Bro,
it was
it's been
not.
bro. It's
It
been
goes
open.
into effect.
It goes into effect.
Bro, it's been open carry since last year. For
But now there's
No,
restrictions.
it's been permitless carry.
Now there's restrictions.
It's been open carry since last year.
It's been permitless carry.
Yes.
It has not been open carry. It's been permitless.
Now it's
carry.
open carry with restrictions.
I don't know what
But
y'all
with
talking about
restrictions,
because
though.
I've been out here
But is your
open
answer
carrying
yes or
since
no on
last
gun
year.
reform?
Yes, definitely yes.
Cat.
I want Shy to go.
It ain't gonna make no difference to be. Guns is everywhere already, and I agree with that. Like they out here.
I love guns.
Legally
Give me
and
more
unlegally.
guns.
I mean,
But don't give
they
guns
need
to
to.
don't give guns to
If
stupid
we're
people.
gonna, I feel like if we're gonna allow it, if we are allowing it, I just feel like they should be even more restrictions. Maybe do some more mental. I think do more mental with it. That's where I feel with it.
But what's
mental health
what's-
check.
what's
Mental health check, and that goes with everything. To be honest with you.
So that was gonna be my point.
Mental health check.
Is that everybody's screaming for gun reform, right? But everybody is not accepting the fact that these weapons don't lift themselves up and pull their own triggers. Let's wait up.
Yes.
Wait up. So now let's accept the fact that it's easier to get a gun permit than it is to get a driver's license. Why?
That's fucking true.
Why
That is
is
true.
that when you really think about that, the reason why there are so many gun-related issues in the United States is because there are no mental health checks. As long as you have a clean background, you can get a concealed permit.
That's
You
true.
know why I see where mental health checks could become an issue with firearm ownership?
Why?
How many veterans do you know maybe got some PTSD from being out at war? It doesn't mean that they should not be able to have a firearm to protect
No,
their
but it
home.
not-
But wait
It's
up,
their
but wait
family.
up, but wait up, but it's one thing to have PTSD, and it's another to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I got an AR-15. Let me see how many caps I can get today. It's a difference. Suffering from PTSD
gonna
because
determine
you
that
were
difference?
in war. Suffering
Yeah.
from PTSD because you were in war
It's way different.
is something
No,
different
no,
versus
no,
someone
no,
who
that's an
doesn't have the
excuse.
mental
That's an
capacity.
excuse.
They do not have the mental capacity to understand that you should not just take a life
No.
because you have a weapon on you. I'm sorry.
But majority of those people that have fought in the war, I don't think should be able to have a gun anymore. If
But
you
then-
came
but
from the
see,
war
this is- now
and you're
see,
dealing
But
with
this is where mental health
issues,
check comes
This
in,
is,
though.
I
but
don't
see,
think you
this
should
is
have
where
a
I
gun
disagree
anymore.
with you, because if anybody should have a weapon, it should be the people who were actually trained and taught to use
Right,
said
but
weapons.
half of them come out and are or have the worst mental issues that can spaz out at any
So
given
this,
time.
this is
But
what
this
I'm
is where the
getting
mental
at.
health checks
So
come.
this is where I'm
That's what
getting
I'm
at.
saying. I agree
You
with
should
that. I'm
you
not
should
saying I don't, but
undergo
if I could
a
finish, I would've
mental
told you that.
health
That's all I'm
check.
saying.
You should
I mean,
undergo.
how many of the mass shootings happened by veterans with PTSD? Not a whole lot of them.
No,
That's
not
true.
a lot of them. But
Typically,
wasn't there
That's
one
true.
that
That's
was-
true.
typically
wasn't there
people.
one
There was one.
Wasn't
Las
there
Vegas.
one in the grocery store that happened? A shooting in the grocery store?
That was fact. That's a fact.
The
That
Las
was in
Vegas
upstate
shooter?
New York. That was in upstate
not
New
in
York. That was
No, no,
last
and it
year.
wasn't
That was in
Las
Buffalo.
Vegas. It
That was in
a
Buffalo.
grocery store.
And that was driven by racism, not the PTSD from the war.
Either way it goes, obviously there was some loose screws, right? He had something missing up there. Something wasn't right.
Yeah.
Because nobody just wakes up exactly like Bodega says and say, I'm gonna kill me a bunch of people. I don't have that in my heart. I can't wake up and say one day I'm gonna shoot somebody.
So that,
because
so,
I'm-
but this-
I'm
so then
angry.
this
I
is-
have
this is what I'm getting
There
at.
is- they were trained for that.
I am a proud gun
They were
owner.
trained for those
Hold on,
I'm a
bro.
proud gun owner, and I do not wake up in the morning and say, you know what? Let me go ahead and pull out my AR-15 and see how many caps I could collect today. I don't do that. You want to know
And
why?
neither do I, and I'm a veteran with PTSD.
I own my weapons to protect
But that was not
myself
for you.
and my
That was not
family.
totally for you.
So this is what I'm saying. There should be mental health checks. This I do agree on. But gun reform, you know what you're gonna do with gun reform? You're gonna make it easier for people who actually want to get weapons to get weapons.
You're gonna make it harder. even.
No, yeah. What do you mean harder? It gets easier. It gets easier.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
sorry
sorry.
to say. Listen. I'm gonna give you a prime example.
The illegal trade
I'm gonna give
gets
you
bigger.
a prime example. Mid to late 80s, there was a whole say no to drugs propaganda coming from the government.
90s,
And who was
90s.
bringing in the drugs? The government.
Per usual.
Not for nothing. So
No, he's onto something.
so why are you gonna create gun reform when you know what you're gonna do? Because not for nothing, the world as a whole, there's a supply and a demand. You start gun reform and you start making it harder to get weapons. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna push people to get said weapons through the black market.
Yep.
And then once they
Which-
start
which is
flooding,
probably- which is probably
so now
going
they
on right
start
now.
flooding through. They start flooding through the black. Yeah, but it's a small. See now depending on where you are, depends on how fast you can get a weapon. Cause not for nothing, in Texas you can get a weapon super easy. But now you go to New York, it's not that easy.
it's not that
you get
easy.
what I'm saying?
But do you guys, it's important to also not lose sight. A lot of people are nowadays so trusting of the government when the whole reason why the Second Amendment came out was because people actually stood up to tyrannical governments back then. Right now, we have an AI software that is being signed with working. Peter Thiel is working with Palantir, with the Trump administration, and they do AI surveillance on people, and nobody is doing anything about it because people trust the government that much that they're like, yeah, let's do more gun reform. And we're not our founding fathers that used to stand up to them.
You're definitely a decade late on that because there was a whole company that basically was given access to everyone's Facebook messages.
It happened
and
a while
Facebook
ago, but
posts.
now they're being loud about it, and now they're showing it.
But this was a
Yeah.
decade ago. They built a whole program which so many corporations own now. You ever wonder why you sat with your friends in privacy and had a discussion about buying a car? You jump on Instagram 10 minutes later and it's showing you said car
It's
that you
called
was talking about.
remarketing.
Yes, but this program was created by a company 10 years ago. This isn't new.
Palantir is new. Palantir being signed.
Palantir is new, but the whole idea behind what they're doing is not a new concept.
No,
this has
it's
been
not.
going on for a decade.
And everybody's like, let's disarm Americans even more.
I don't think they're saying disarm them.
And I know, I
half
feel
of
like
them.
most people that
I
are
just,
for gun reform, like
we need
everyone
to
sitting
test
here, I
people.
feel like you guys want a medium. Like you're not an extremist where you're like, let's disarm everybody, right?
Yeah.
You're like,
No,
let's make sure that they're only in the hands of the most responsible people. That's what you want. Everybody wants that kind of safety. But
Exactly.
what's happening in response to these calls for more gun reform is not that. It's more restrictions that apply to the good people like us. And soon enough, we could end up being a disarmed population over any little thing. They're starting to ask people when they get their real ID if they have mental health issues. Does that mean you're going to take away my gun because I go to therapy? Like,
Can't buy weed.
do you know what exactly that too? You can drink
that's-
alcohol.
Actually, that's not true. There's a loophole to that, but we got to talk about that behind the scenes
Right. Okay,
because you didn't hear this from me.
You could drink alcohol all the time and get one, but you can't like have medicinal cannabis and get one, which is also a whole nother thing. It's like I think that most people that are calling for gun reform, you guys do have a middle ground thinking. But what ends up happening, and what I feel as a conspiracy theorist, is the agenda is to eventually have us disarmed, because disarmed populations are the easiest ones to erase, kind of like what's happening in the Middle East.
Yeah.
They can take it from my cold, dead hands.
Yo, I was just thinking that in my head. I'm not even going to
Come
lie
and
to
get
you.
it.
Look, just to sum this part of the conversation up, I don't think we're going to get any radical gun reform because the NRA pays for both parties. They're a huge sponsor of both parties, so and it's just too much money involved, with Florida being an open carry next week, I don't think that they will be more gun deaths. I think that you'll have more idiots carrying out in the
that
open.
should not be carrying.
Exactly.
More idiots that are going to be carrying that should not be carrying.
I agree, but I don't think it's going to. I think it's just going to be idiotic on their end, but I don't think it's going to cause an uptick of violence.
That's because when you're ready, you don't have to get prepared. Let's move on to the next question.
All right, next issue is regarding free speech. People talking about the First Amendment is. It seems like the First Amendment is having terms now. Should there be a cap on what you can and can't say, or what you should be held accountable for?
No.
You should be held accountable.
I don't think there. I don't think there should be a cap. I'll give you an example. I may not agree with people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk.
I don't agree with that.
But I also don't agree with them getting fired for it and being put on a list of thousands of people.
I agree with
and
that.
targeted for their life to be made miserable. And that is what's happening at the presidential level. And I am such an advocate for free speech that while it might enrage me that people are celebrating death, I still see it as a red flag that it's at the presidential level. Another thing that I think I disagree with, and I think free speech is being infringed upon, is the threat that if you boycott Israel, or if you speak out against them, your state or city would possibly lose federal funding or disaster aid as well.
But that's an entirely different topic, because what you just brought up is a lot deeper than just that. It's way like the rabbit,
the free speech part of it.
The rabbit hole on that
understand what
whole
you're trying to
Israel
say,
thing is so deep. We ain't even got enough time to jump into that today.
All right.
Where I'm at with free speech, right? I support free speech to a limit. So this is my limit. Any free speech that boils down to subjugating a specific majority of people, anything that involves children,
Okay.
That's
I
your
can agree
limit.
with
That's
that.
your
you
limit.
understand? These are things that I am against. Everything else is cool. Like at the end of the day, you could tell me that you don't like me because you don't like Hispanics, and I'm going to be cool with that, right? I'm going to let that rock. But the minute you say something about my kids,
That's where
I'm going to go upside your fucking head.
I agree with that.
You understand?
I agree
Kids
with
off
that.
limits.
I'm cool with that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But do you think somebody should be punished by law enforcement or lose their job, etc., for talking bad about your kids?
No, not at all.
Right. So taking justice into your own hands, I think, is justifiable if someone's messing with your family. When we're talking about the threat to free speech, it's more like at a law enforcement level, I would think.
Correct. Like I don't agree with it being that presidential level, because not for nothing, the Constitution was started by founding fathers, and they basically made a list of things that we as American citizens should have the right to do. I don't think that the president should step in and change any of that, even though, you know what I'm saying, not for nothing, Mr. Dorito 10 is trying to do so, not only with freedom of speech, because there's another one of the amendments in the Constitution that he's trying to alter as well. So now you gotta, like, there's been so much redirection over the last 7 months.
Distractions.
Redirections. I'm gonna say, I wouldn't even only say distractions and redirections, because I'm gonna give you an example. The day that Charlie Kirk was died, 3 other people were murdered in Colorado.
Yep, school shooting.
Well, and
that same time.
the Senate voted to not release the Epstein files.
So my whole thing with that is that the Charlie Kirk thing got more media play than that school shooting. Why?
Because we're used to it.
It's not because we're used to it. It's because this is what the government says to do. Like, I'm going to give you an example. For 25 fucking years, they said UFOs weren't real. As of last year, all of a sudden, they got 30 years worth of fucking tape proving that aliens are fucking real.
Here you go.
Like, what the...
Put this on.
No. I'm not that deep in the rabbit hole. Like, my feet are swinging in there, but I ain't all the way in there. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at certain shit, they have created distractions. The Epstein files. Why don't want to put the Epstein files out? Give me the fucking Epstein files already.
I want to know what
I want.
I want to know what
I want somebody to fucking look on the fucking files and say, you know what? My man Trump, my man been there 7 times. Shit.
Need the files. You don't need the
Release
files.
the fucking files. I want to see that Trump's been there 7 times. He had a suite. You know what I mean? And he was sipping on Grey Goose while he was over there. That's what I want to know. I want to know who was on that island doing what they was doing to their children. So we could pull up to their spot and we could violate them the way they violated them innocent children.
That is why they don't want the list to get out, because the world will be on fire.
Exactly.
We violate and we stepping behind them kids.
Your turn, Kat. Go ahead. Your turn.
I'm telling you, I think everybody was on there. That's why they can't, because they know it will cause chaos. And the narrative, like I said, the news is all about controlling. They down with everybody. It's like Hollywood. It's all in cahoots. They all in cahoots together.
They pretend to be on 2 different sides.
It's Epstein o'clock right now. You heard?
They all control that. They all controlling it. They all in cahoots. They didn't cover the other murders. Why? Because they wanted us to focus on the Charlie thing only. Why? We don't know. But it'll come out eventually. Everything done in the dark.
Well, and then you had, I think it was 2 or 3, but I know one gentleman was white, one gentleman was black, found hung recently.
Actually, there were 2 gentlemen that were 2 black gentlemen
and then
that were hung.
The one white guy.
They found them hung in the state of Louisiana.
Campus, I think it was. What was it?
There was 2 of them in the state of Louisiana. 2 black men that were hung.
And one of them, and one guy was, and then a third white guy got hung as well.
That was in another state, but that wasn't in Louisiana. That was in another state. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that did not happen. Within the state of Louisiana, 2 black men were found hung from a tree. Like, not for nothing. When you stop and you look, like, really, once you separate emotion and you start looking at everything logically, not for nothing, this government right now, they really trying to throw shit back into the 1920s, shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do y'all would y'all want to know everything though? That the government, the shady things that the government has done, would you want to know, or would you want some blissful ignorance?
No, you don't.
It's
you don't
really
even,
dark.
No, you don't even want to know everything your girlfriend do, because
Chantel has something to say.
Because if you did, not for nothing, if you knew everything your chick did, you would sit in the corner and cry in the dark.
All right, hang on, Bodega. Hang on.
Hold on, Chantel has something to say.
So, getting back to the one question that I didn't get to answer on, which was the freedom of speech. I do feel as though, for me, when it comes to freedom of speech, there should be some accountability held. I do think with people losing their jobs, it's funny because when it comes to minorities, people can say whatever they want, and you can be as boastful as you want, and call people the N-word, and you can go ham, and you have no issue when that happens. But now we have people that are speaking on the fact that they didn't agree with Charles Kirk's rhetoric, and now all of a sudden you're getting banned or you're being fired from your show. So it's basically it's a cap on what you can say when it comes to that higher standard. If we're talking about us as people here, you got to be accountable for what you say. At the end of the day, yes, you can say whatever you want, People may not agree with it. And the thing about being an adult is you're going to agree to disagree. But at the same time, like in the sense of what Bodega said, certain things that may cross the line, you have to be held accountable for that.
That's a
there has to
fact.
be some type of consequence that comes with that. Because
That's
you're
a
not just
fact.
going to say some off the wall shit where you're calling me out my name and I'm just supposed to stand there and be okay with this. See, that's where I feel when it comes to this government and now what it is where Trump has made it okay for certain people to speak their piece. They're thinking they can say
But
whatever
not
they
speak
want
their
and there's no
piece.
consequences to it.
I
And
feel-
for
I-
me, when you come at somebody with hatred and you're spewing hatred and you're telling me that I'm nothing because I'm black or Hispanic, I'm gonna hold you accountable for that. And however that may be, whether it's an ass whooping or whether it's a verbal tongue lashing, you're gonna get both. Because for me, people are way too comfortable nowadays spewing that N-word real quick. People are way too comfortable nowadays calling people
With the hard
you know,
ER, you heard? The hard
Mexicans,
ER.
any type of name. Yes. Calling Mexicans out their name and all types of other things.
That's a
To me,
fact.
That's where freedom of speech has to hold some accountability, because yes, you can speak your piece, but when it becomes hateful and offensive, now that's a problem.
That's
now,
a fact.
when talking about the man who lost his life being hung from a tree, he was 2 miles away from where Emmett Till was hung.
That's a fact.
Crazy work, right? Crazy work. It's just funny how shit happens sometimes, right? For that, and at that point, I feel like
Didn't they rule one of them a suicide?
They trying
No,
to.
like,
They're
they're trying
trying
to say it was a
to rule it
suicide.
a suicide.
it wasn't a no black person has ever hung themselves. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
I
Let's
mean,
keep it real.
I mean, wait. We can't run with that narrative either because
I know
Nah.
someone personally.
you know, and that's
I'm
what I'm
saying
saying.
in the
Like
sense of
there
on a
are
tree.
certain instances
No, I'm saying
by
in the
hanging
sense of on a
themselves
tree.
from a tree is highly unlikely.
Highly
Yeah.
unlikely, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry if I didn't, say that clearly. But that's what
Yeah,
I meant.
yeah, that's
one has
highly unlikely.
Done that.
So
That's different.
what I think is funny and hypocritical is that the right or the I'll say MAGA, not the right. I'll say MAGA. They were all about the hate speech when bad things happened to Democrats. Like hell,
That's what I'm saying.
when Melissa Hortman was murdered, a state
That's a
senator,
fact.
they
Her
were the
and her
first.
husband.
They were the first to talk shit. When George
That's what
Floyd
I'm
was
saying.
murdered, they
That's
talked
a
shit.
fact.
You're
That's
And
talking
true.
about-
they
It's
were
very
putting
true.
out memes like crazy.
Yes.
They even
Yep.
started a trend on
Yep.
social media when Trayvon Martin was murdered.
They were signing He was signing fucking Skittle bags.
That's a fact.
Yep.
So, but and this is what I'm getting at. Listen, it's 2025, right? And you figured that by now racism
Would be
would not be prevalent. And it's more
It's
prevalent now than
back
it
then.
was 20
Yeah.
fucking
Than back
years
then.
ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But now let's keep it 100. The reason why racism has become more prevalent now is because there are more racists in government. Listen,
Yes.
this mass deportation thing, that shit is racism because we're gonna keep it a band. A lot of these immigrants that they fucking deported
Work
are some
hard.
of the hardest working
Yes.
motherfuckers
Yep.
in this whole
Absolutely.
fucking country. You understand?
Absolutely.
5 of them motherfuckers that build you a whole house in 3.5 weeks. You get
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
That shit was all a form of racism.
Yeah.
Now the crazy thing about that is that a lot of the people that were for said mass deportation, because quote unquote these immigrants are taking our jobs, are the same people who aren't filling the jobs that are now available because the
Yeah,
people
they're not gonna go
that
pick
fruit
occupy
and
those
vegetables
jobs
at a farm.
have been
They're
deported.
too entitled.
They're too
Yep.
entitled.
Why?
yeah.
Why they don't want to fill these jobs? Because quote unquote they don't pay enough money. You want to know what's crazy about that immigrant? That immigrant raised a family with 8 fucking kids on that same fucking salary that you're complaining about.
Or work 3 to 4 jobs just to make sure.
And
his
it's
kids
Just to
and
make
it's
ends
crazy.
meet.
The
Just to
reason
make ends meet.
and the reason why the cost of groceries have gone up, the reason why the cost of anything in this country has gone up is because of this fucking mass deportation. All of these corporations that make all of these products no longer have the personnel to make
Make
and
it.
develop said products to meet the demands.
Well, they're getting it for free. I don't know if you know, but some of the immigration camps where they're holding people, the detention camps, are surrounding big farms, not the local mom and pop farms. They pay their people, but the big food farms that need a bunch of free labor. Guess who's around them? The detention camps.
And fun fact for those of you people who don't know, you do know that farmers that had immigrants working on their farms paid more fucking taxes because they had immigrants working on their farms. That is a fucking fact. You can find that on any search engine.
Well, they did an interview with the farmer, and he said it wasn't the pay that was the problem with getting Americans to work on farms and take these jobs. It was the labor, being in the sun and doing all of that labor in the sun. He says Americans don't want to do that work.
They don't. Because everybody has boss mentality, but at the end of the day, we gonna keep it a
Everybody
buck.
doesn't know how to be a
How
boss.
the fuck are you a boss without no employees? You heard?
So I got a question. I know we're running out of time here, right? But my last question, and I'll say something and then I'll ask you guys, okay? So why are they mad? Why are they so angry? Like
who? You got to be specific.
Yeah.
The right, the MAGA. They're mad about everything. They want to take everything back.
You want to know why?
I'll explain it. Hold on, I got you.
I think both sides are angry.
Hold on, give me
Both
a sec.
sides are angry.
Hold on, give me a sec. All right.
I'm angry because I ran out of Henderson.
So they have the White House. They have both houses of Congress. They have Supreme Court that's completely obedient to the president. They're willing to give him unlimited power. He even said that he can take SEAL Team 6 and kill anybody he wants. They affirmed that. He
So
said,
what's-
hold on.
That sounds. All right.
Hold on. They said ICE can racially profile anybody they want.
Facts.
The Supreme Court said Latinos can be racially profiled because of their accent or the way
Facts.
that they look. They got everything they want. They ended DEI. They've ended affirmative action. They got all the best jobs. Even if they're not qualified, they can be a Fox weekend host and become the Secretary of Defense, first of all. They can be fucking Kash Patel and be a podcaster and then run the freaking FBI. As long as they're conservative, they have everything.
That's
So
a
why
fact.
are they still angry? What are they angry about?
You want to know why?
I also have an idea why, but you go.
You want to know why? Because regardless of what they do, they're still not comfortable with the fact that in another 20 years, their so-called quote-unquote solid race will no longer exist. Not for nothing, we're going to keep it 100. Over the last 50 years, there's been so much racial mixing that people can't even readily identify with one race or another.
One race or another. That is true.
You understand?
There's a lot
At
of
the
mixed
end of the
babies out
day,
there.
they're starting to feel like
lot of
they
mixed
are
babies.
the minorities.
Yes.
They're starting to feel like minorities. This is what it all boils down to. They're feeling like fucking minorities. And back to what Phil said, all that shit that Trump is doing, not for nothing. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but the logical aspect of me is looking at everything that's going on, and my man's is definitely setting up for a dictatorship. My man's is
that's
turning
been done,
into
though.
the white Fidel Castro, not for nothing.
The crazy part is all this has been shown time and time again in front of our faces, and we've been like, as Phil said, ignorant to everything that is being played out. And quickly too with that, I'm gonna say it stupidly because this is what I want to say, but they're mad because they hate us because they ain't us at the end of the day. And
That's a
everything that
fact.
we are genuinely as a race, as human beings, they can't be. And it's unfortunate. And at this point, it's just one of those things where at the end of the day, that's been a thing since forever.
That's a fact. They done stole everything from everybody.
50s, they keep taking and taking and taking away from people.
That's a
And
fact.
it's sad because this is the world we live in. And it's unfortunate. It's
They're
unfortunate,
mad.
but
They're mad
They-
because
they-
we don't
they're-
want to sit at their table.
We don't want to sit at their
anyways.
table because they barely
couldn't
got
pay
any
me.
seasoning in their
anything.
cabinet. This what this about. They don't even season their laundry.
Listen.
They
They
throw one dryer sheet.
That's
They throw
racist.
one dryer sheet.
That is
in the fucking,
racist.
no, that's not
That is
racist.
racist.
That is an astute
But I'm not gonna.
observation.
But I'm not gonna kill you for it. For what you just
But I'm
said.
not. But I'm not. You know what I mean?
But
Like
I'm not
at the
gonna
end
kill
of
you
the
for it
day.
though.
Freedom of speech.
Exactly. I'm
That's
not
his
gonna.
opinion.
I'm not gonna kill you for it.
That's what the whole show was about.
Nah. We gonna keep it in bed. I'm gonna ask you because you know what I'm saying. Not
I
for
still didn't
nothing.
even get to answer the question either.
No. But I want to ask you a question because I want to hear this answer. Let me ask you a question. Outside of the normal seasonings, meaning salt, pepper, and all of that, you got adobo in your cabinet?
1000%.
You got sazon in your cabinet?
Of course, on my
See,
chicken right now.
you're a different type of person. But the average
not white.
American
Yeah,
don't
she's
even
not.
know that these. I know you not. I'm asking questions because I'm trying to ascertain what type of seasoning you got in your cabinet.
But-
Most of these people ain't got seasoning in their cabinet. You heard? Mrs. Dash should not be the only fucking seasoning in your cabinet. You should not be lemon peppering eggs. You get where I'm coming from?
Listen,
yes.
listen.
That's all I'm
Listen,
saying.
Listen, I mean, just to push back on that, I've dated 2 men. Obviously, been with my ex-husband and then my ex-boyfriend, both white or half white, whatever you want to call it. Very, very, really good chefs. It is a stereotype, I think, for a reason.
Aw, the 2 out of the 100,000 million people that live on.
You know what I'm saying? Like this,
You're
what
so
I'm.
lucky.
Yo, do you know?
They
And not for
introduced me
nothing.
'cause
I'm
they're
just,
so lucky.
listen.
I wanna know who they are.
I know some
They got
cool
brothers.
ass white people, right? I know some cool ass white people,
We
and
all
I've been
do.
to their crib. And when they open up the seasoning cabinet, there'd be a whole lot of shit I don't recognize. You understand? And that's all I'm saying. I'm not, listen, it's no disrespect or nothing.
I
but
think
not
there's
for-
other reasons why the anger might come from some of the MAGA, right? Some of the MAGA. We don't want to generalize, but I think there's other reasons. So,
'Cause they
I
be
think they have a
stealing
different kind of
everything.
crash out, right? So, like the left crash out was burning cities down, and when I was in California, like buildings were being burnt, stores were being burnt. That was the left crash out.
Because
I think
people
the
were
right-
being
I think-
murdered.
I think
Innocent
the-
people were being
and,
murdered.
That's a fact.
and someone was murdered last week, and there wasn't any cities that were allowed to be burnt down in my city.
Because another white
the
person
cops-
killed them.
Because
But am I-
and you know what I'm
listen.
saying? That's what I don't understand. Listen, this is what I don't understand, right? They tripping.
I wasn't done.
Let her finish, let her finish,
and my bad,
Bodega.
my bad to
Oh,
interrupt.
shit.
They super tripping on the white on. They like super tripping when it's anybody else. The minute it's white on white crime, they got a million fucking excuses. And as soon as Charlie Kirk was murdered, it was a black person. It was somebody from Skittles Mafia that did it. Come to find out, my man's was homegrown Utah who was on the roof and said, you know what? I'm going to catch me a cat today. And it's going to be Charlie Kirk.
Go ahead, Gina.
I mean, that's the narrative that they're giving us, right? But I think there's different kinds of crash outs from both groups, right? You have, it manifests differently because it's 2 different types of people by and large, right? And 2 different types of, not 2 different types, but many different demographics on both sides, obviously. But I think there's 2 different crash outs. I wanted to make a joke though, and this really did happen though. So at the Republican GOP, they said that the Grindr app crashed. And I feel like there is a ton of closeted people that might be in MAGA and on the
they're
Republican
matching.
side. I think everywhere you go, there's closeted people. But specifically when they're on the MAGA side, that also could manifest itself as anger and
Absolutely.
internalized homophobia.
Okay, Kat, go ahead.
It's true. It's
the mic.
true.
I'm only laughing.
Is this our final
I'm only
thoughts?
laughing because you just spoke
All right.
in the
So I
thought of
believe
us.
in live and let live. I believe in be the change you want to see. So when it comes down to putting, everybody raises their kids the way they want. So, freedom of speech should be freedom of speech. But my kids are grown and I'm like, fuck them kids now. I'm all about my grandkids now.
Facts.
So I love my grandkids. Shout out to my grandbabies.
Facts.
It's a whole. Once you become a grandparent, I promise you, it's a whole nother ball game.
It's a whole different story. You want to know why? Because you can do whatever you want with them, and you can send them right back to where the fuck they came from. You ain't even gotta worry about. I absolutely love that shit. But it is different. But I love people to a certain extent, and when it comes to politics and all this shit we were talking about, it's crazy, man. And the rabbit hole and all this shit it has a lot. Like, he's not even in it, but he's in it. You felt that,
He's
but
dipping his toes, and I'm in the deep end.
I'm not all the way in,
and I'm
but
still
I'm
okay,
in.
and I'm still okay
not
mentally.
I'm for everything, you know what I'm saying? So I got my beliefs everywhere, and I'm not into politics, and I can't really chime in too much because I don't know too much about the whole politics thing. But I chimed in here and there where I could feel where y'all were coming from. But at the end of the day, this is where I'm at, live and let live.
I think those are good
principles. And be the change y'all want to see. Like, that's where I'm at. But I want to shout out everybody that came out to support me. I love y'all. I know I ain't y'all would hit him up my phone too much. Y'all messed me up. y'all would, if Phil get mad at me, that's all of y'all.
That's
that's messed up. And shout out to Flowski. Thank you for the makeup. I don't really do all this, but thank you. And Styles by, man, I did a brain fart. I'm sorry, Flo. I love you.
Go ahead, Chantel. Go ahead, Chantel.
Yeah, but I love you, God. I appreciate y'all having me.
Of course.
And all that stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up again. Go ahead.
Oh shit! Hold on. We got breaking news, guys.
What?
ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely.
Y'all didn't hear about
after
that?
offensive Charlie
I
Kirk
thought that's
comments.
what you guys are talking about.
I was reading that on the drive here. I read the whole article.
Are you serious?
They permanently
Freedom of speech,
pull
guys.
his show.
Freedom
They
of speech.
permanently
Wild.
pull his show
Okay,
over
so-
remarks on Charlie
Fascism.
Kirk.
This is sending a fascist message.
It is fascism at its finest.
Okay, so now with this happening, is there 20 million more Charlie Kirk that's gonna?
No. You know what I'm really waiting for now that we bringing up Jimmy Kimmel.
Is there gonna be 20 million more of him right now?
John Stewart. What I'm waiting for is John Stewart. Not for nothing. I'm not listening. That is one white boy I fucking rock with. It's John Stewart. I'm waiting for John Stewart.
I'm worried about Candace Owens.
I can't rock with you on that one. You on your own with that one. I'ma respect that, but not for nothing. I rock with John Stewart. I'm waiting to see what he says, because not for nothing, Jimmy Kimmel was kind of like in the middle. He was kind of like tiptoeing on both sides. John Stewart gonna tell you exactly where the fuck it's at. And not only is he gonna tell you where it's at, he's gonna drop receipts right along with it. That's why I fuck with John Stewart. I'm waiting, but not for nothing. Jimmy Kimmel should have never lost his show over him expressing how he felt over what happened with the Charlie Kirk situation. This is the problem that we have. We have
this should scare people.
We have a president.
Absolutely.
We got a president that literally listens to Carl Thomas emotional 24/7. Cause that man is so deep in his fucking feelings, bro. A lot of decisions this man makes is based on his own fucking feelings.
Not even his.
I think he's just a face. I think he's an actor.
I don't even think he's an actor, because not for nothing. When you really look at everything that this man has done in his life prior to him even being elected president the first time, he fucking trained himself to do all of this shit.
That's what actors do.
Because even when he was a fucking businessman, he made it a fucking habit to fuck contractors out of paying them 100% of the contract that they fucking signed. And I know that because I worked for a company who did work at Trump Tower in New York City, and he fucked the company that I was working before, he fucked them out of $1.2 million out of their fucking contract.
Damn.
He's made this a fucking habit throughout his career.
Of course, that's
I
why
do agree with
he
Gina.
went bankrupt 7 times before he got it. He went bankrupt
All I'm
7
saying
times.
is that
Let it
Before he got
happen.
it.
Let it happen. Jay-Z that went fucking bankrupt 7 times. He'd be on fucking Twitter calling him a brokey. Not for nothing.
Either way,
That's
to answer
true.
the entire question of tonight's topic, I think that freedom of speech is slowly being taken away. And I think a good example of how it happened on the other side too, during 2020 when the nurses started even questioning the efficacy of the vaccines or speaking out
And they were getting
for stuff
fired.
that they didn't agree with that was happening with their protocols. They were getting fired. So it happened back then. It happened years ago, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I feel like our First Amendment right is being infringed upon little by little. And that just shows me that both sides are still serving the same ultimate agenda, which is control, surveillance, and less rights than what we have in this moment
We
right
might
now.
as well take it away with
Absolutely.
all these restrictions. And
You can't say shit now. You can't say shit. They be wanting to they be want to cancel you. They be want to cancel you if you say that fucking Chili's food is better than Applebee's. Like you can't say shit right now without somebody trying to fucking cancel you.
That is facts. Real quick, we're quick shout out to some promotions that I'm about to shout out real quick. If you guys are in the Florida area and you guys have nothing to do on September 27th, Saturday, September 27th, is about to be a vibe where me and Kat are hosting a brunch. We're about to get back into doing events that we did last year. So that's September 27th from 4 to 9.
Lake Wales got a spot to go to? That's crazy. Times changed.
we bringing light to that.
Times done changed.
It's a hidden spot. Let me tell you. It's a
Everything
hidden
in
spot.
Lake Wales is hidden, my man. That shit is like
it's a hidden
that's
spot.
good old boy country right there.
It's a
Like I
hidden
done driven
spot.
through there.
So if you guys are not doing nothing then, come on through September 27th from 4 to 9. Then if you guys like vacationing, please hit up Liz and my boy Saab Hernandez. Please hit them up. They will set you on right for bookings. They get good deals. I'm telling you right now, they get some good deals. They got me good deals for my birthday, and I just got to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. I still don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do yet.
What you need to do is take off them
Shut the hell up.
It's not for nothing.
Then my other one, the final poster, the official poster for everybody's been asking. Deadly Swipe 2. Deadly Swipe Dark Reflection. We start freaking filming in November. I can't fucking wait. This will be my first
they have foldable butcher knives. That's a new age
big
shit right
feature
there.
That's what I said.
that's going to be on Tubi.
Let me find out it's a Swiss butcher knife.
Yo,
like, that's
listen,
crazy.
there's
crazy.
part 1.
Chad.
If you guys haven't seen part 1, it is on my YouTube, and part 1 got 7 nominations with me as getting my first best actor, nominee. I'm trying to get some, something else. More stuff is in the works for my brand, and me and Chantel got something big that's about to pop off in like 3 weeks, but we can't say it because there's a lot of people that like to say that they took it first before anything. Fuck off. No, the fuck you did not.
Fuck 'em.
Like, stop biting off of me. And motherfuckers know who the fuck they are. Stop biting off of me.
Fuck 'em.
Get your own fucking shit. Make your own fucking lane. Stop.
I'm so proud of you.
Chantel.
I'm proud of him too, like not for nothing. I'm dead ass. I was about to get up and give him a step stool
Hold
so
on,
he
Bodega,
could
hold on.
stand on business. You heard?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Nah.
Hold on, everybody. What?
Now,
What?
we were all roasting about your pants being too tight, but honestly, I feel like you need to wear tight pants all the time if this is the energy you're
Hey,
bringing.
yo, pause, Chantel. We not doing that.
A long
Pause.
time ago.
Nah, this crazy.
Yeah.
This crazy because when I walked in, as soon as I linked up with him, I'm like, hey, yo, my man got the hip hugger deluxes
Listen,
on.
I'm just saying.
Nah, we not doing that.
I'm speaking facts. I'm tired of niggas saying that, oh, I bite off of niggas. No, I fucking created my own lane. I moved out here for a fucking reason. The shit is fucking moving. I'm about to be doing bigger things since being here in fucking 3 years. Create your own fucking lane. Stop talking about me doing a fucking live on fucking TikTok, on fucking Facebook. See, if you want to fucking see me. That's what the fuck I feel. If you want to see me, fucking see me. Like, stop doing this. Stop doing the fucking internet shit, because I don't do the fucking internet shit.
Yo, I got $7 on Mal. You heard?
And that's how we gonna fucking end the show.
I got $7
$7
on
No,
Mal.
exactly. And
Mal,
I
Mal,
let them talk.
Mal on a whole different
Negative
type
or
of energy
positive is
today.
good.
Yeah.
Not for nothing.
bro.
Yo,
'cause
I'm
this is-
starting.
Cause you know why? Because I keep quiet. I don't say nothing. I
He
keep
does.
quiet.
You got some recently, huh? Cause
I
you on a whole
know.
different type of time. Look at you. I know where you done
Sometimes
got
you ain't
some
gotta speak
shit.
on it too.
Let me find
Especially on
out.
TikTok.
But it's the
Can I
honest
say
truth
one
though.
thing?
Like
I will
it's the
say
honest
this
truth.
about
I go to Chantel for advice. I go to you for advice. I go to Phil
And
for
I pick
advice.
violence
And
all the time.
all everybody said the same thing.
And
Everyone-
what's the advice I be giving you?
crash the fuck out.
Thank you, man. Everybody, that's my message to everybody. Crash the fuck out. Tomorrow's not promised. Punch them in the face today. I'm done.
I agree with Kat 100%, but Mal has taken a lot of punches throughout the years and has stayed
feel
fair. I
you.
get angry to the point where I want to speak for him, but I don't. But I'm happy that he did it today because you're right. Some people need to be put in their place. Yes, any type of like talk about him is good talk. Yes, at the end of the day, but at some point, when is enough enough? Like, go find you some business. Go do you. Go do you. Worry about you and stop worrying about the next person. Because if that man ain't paying your bills, why you so involved in what he's? It's not hurting you or affecting you either other way. If you're not losing sleep over it, leave this man alone and let him do him. And
Crash
I
the
see
fuck
it
out
with my
today.
own
You heard?
eyes.
That's today's message. Crash the fuck
I
out
feel you.
today.
To each their own, you know.
All right, Mal,
Each
sign us
their own.
out.
Crash out, bro. Do what you do.
Thank you for everybody for fucking tuning in. Every 2 weeks, tune in, Delgado Podcast Nation. We ain't going nowhere. 11 more episodes, and it's gonna be number 50, where I'm going to have all my previous co-hosts in the fucking building, and all my new co-hosts now. So we about to have a blast for that number 50.
And I'm
I
gonna
can't
take Mal
fucking wait.
shopping because these
These
hip hugger
niggas-
deluxes is not it. You heard?
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
From the intro to the outro, every drop's a revelation. Count it down, 3, 2. Move like fuego, dale. Don't be patient, beat so heavy. Feel a vibration, mile on the mic, we run the station. Laugh, chaos, wild conversation. Hands in the air, feel the temptation. It's time to jump. Then Nation.